All right, you're good.
Thanks, Colton. I'm going to go ahead and read the script for the APRN committee meeting today. Good afternoon. I am Patsy Zeller and serve as the chair of the APRN committee of the Kansas State Board of Nursing. And I ask the members of the APRN committee to respond to a roll call signifying their presence at this open meeting that is being held by Zoom and YouTube. Melissa, can you tell me your last name? Because I'm going to not say it right.
Orpeza.
Orpeza. Melissa Orpeza, present.
Here.
Jade Ramsdale. I don't see Jade. Okay, Andrea Watson. Jamie Harrington. Don Gosnell.
I'm here.
See you. Benjamin Cochran.
Present.
Josie Bell. Josie sent me a short email note that said that she was going to be traveling and might not be able to connect. Shannon Gregg.
I'm here.
So looks like we're missing 1, 2, 3 people. Is that correct?
4.
4.
Jade, Andrea, Jamie, and Josie.
4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're okay with enough, correct, Carol?
Yeah, you should have more than half. Yeah.
Okay. I also asked the following board staff members to signify their attendance. Carol Moreland, Executive Administrator.
Here.
Jill Simons, Executive Assistant.
Here.
Public comment allows individuals to address the APRN committee about the concerns, but the Kansas Open Meetings Act, POMA, does not require the APRN committee to provide public comment or answer questions from individuals. Public comment will not be taken today because there is a possibility that the connection for the remote meeting may be lost over time, and the time for the meeting may not allow everyone who is present to comment. Additionally, we will not know what the comments an individual may make, and we would want to provide notice to the public of our intent to discuss a particular matter so that the public may listen and observe our discussion. Because we are conducting this public meeting remotely by Zoom and YouTube, I state for the record the following information. On November 29, 2021, the board sent notice to the meeting for the APRN committee to the individuals who have requested notice of the committee's meetings. Additionally, the notice and agenda were posted on the board's website, ksbn.kansas.gov. You may obtain a copy of the notice and agenda at the website or by sending an email to carolmoreland@ks.gov with the subject line, request for the agenda, and the board staff will send it to you. The notice contains the internet links to access the meeting by Zoom and YouTube. And the notice also contains that Zoom telephone number to attend this meeting by telephone call. Each of these electronic mediums allow the public to attend this meeting free of charge. The notice also advises individuals who contact the board's office at 785-296-2967 if they experience any technical issues during the meeting. The only mediums for interactive communication offered for this meeting are the connections by Zoom and YouTube, as previously stated. Each member of the committee, board staff, or presenter shall state the person's name and title each time the person speaks or votes, as the case may be. Each participant to this meeting shall ensure microphones, phones, or other electronic devices are on mute when the participant is not speaking. Each motion will be clearly stated before the committee votes, and the chair will announce the results of the final vote. A statement or motion will clearly identify and authorize by delegation each member of the committee or staff who will be permitted to sign any documentation on behalf of the committee. The meeting is being recorded, and then recording will be posted to the board's website. The committee has the following items listed on the agenda: call to order, review of on-site packet, additions or revisions to the agenda, announcements, approval of minutes for the meeting held in September 2021, unfinished business, new business, agenda for the committee meeting in March 2022, and adjournment. Although the agenda does not include an executive session, if the committee elects to exercise the option to go to the executive session, the committee will follow the process. First, the committee must be in an open session before going into executive session. Then a motion will be made and seconded pursuant of KSA 75-4319B. The motion must contain the statement of justification for closure, the subject or subjects to be discussed, and the time and place the open meeting will resume. If a motion for executive session passes, public will be excluded from this portion of the meeting, and the executive session will be conducted by electronic means that will not be made available to the public. The committee members will return to the open meeting after the executive session. The open meeting will resume when committee members return to the Zoom and YouTube meetings after the executive session. The complete motion for the executive session will be reported in the minutes. The meeting is now called to order, and the committee will now consider next item on the agenda. The next thing we have is review of an on-site packet.
Madam Chair, this is Carol, Administrator. There is no on-site packet.
Okay, thank you for that. How about any additions or revisions to the agenda?
This is Carol. There's none that I know of.
Anyone else have any additions? And Carol will ask you one more time about announcements.
Madam Chair, I don't have any announcements either.
We're going through this pretty good. Approval of minutes, September 14th, 2021. Did everyone have a chance to look at those? See anything that we needed to correct? Okay, hearing none. Jill?
Yes,
Did we
Is
need
there
a
a-
motion? Did we need a motion to accept the agenda as printed, or just if we made a change?
just if there was a change.
Okay, thank you. So I guess we're ready for minutes.
Okay. Is there a committee member who would like to make the following motion? I move to approve the minutes from the September 14th, 2021 APRN Committee meeting as written.
This is Dawn Gosnell. I would so move that we approve the meeting minutes from September 14th as stated by Jill.
Thank you, Don. How about a second?
This is Melissa Orpez. I'll second.
Thank you. A motion and a second. Do I have the discussion? Then all in favor say yes.
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 All opposed say no. Any abstentions? That motion carries, so those minutes are accepted. I see a note there. Is that Amy is on? Is that what I see?
Yes, Madam Chair, Amy is on. When we get to her part on the agenda, we'll bring her over.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And Nicole's there also, so.
Prescription monitoring program for unfinished business. Committee report, Shannon, I guess is your name. Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I just joined the committee, I think effective, I think I just got my letter last week. So I have not sat in on any committees to be able to report anything. I did sit briefly on one with Bobby, but the next meeting is scheduled for January. So I will have something to report after that next meeting.
Okay, well, we'll just put it back on the agenda for March then.
Okay.
It takes a little while to get plugged into some of those things and get your notices. So we appreciate your effort to help us with that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be on the board. So thank you.
All learn together. That's a good way. Okay, this next one I have on unfinished is pending 2022 APRN legislative. And Amy will bring you on. And did you say Nicole was also there?
Yeah, Colton, we need to bring Amy and Nicole across if you can. Amy Seipel and Nicole Lavanas.
They should be on their way.
Okay. Thank you. And
Okay, thank you so much. So first of all, CAPEN would just like to express our appreciation for KSBN. We recognize how blessed we are to be regulated by the Kansas State Board of Nursing, and it's an absolute red line for us to make sure that we maintain our regulation under this very capable board. So as you're aware, our Senate bill was blessed last year. So we're very thankful for that. And we've been working with our Senate champions and moving forward into our next legislative session. We are also working with the National Council of State Boards of Nursing. I'm sure a lot of you know Nicole Lavanos and what just absolute blessing she has been to our organization. We are working with her as well as representation from the American Association of Nurse Practitioners. So AANP is now recognizing that Kansas is in a very good position, and they are dedicating additional resources, including probably some lobbyists moving forward and working directly with Kansas. So these three organizations are working together to just simplify some of the bill language to be in line with the consensus model. And we look forward to getting that to you within the next week or two. We need to look at that language and then take that to our sponsors and the revisers. And then certainly we want some input from KSBN as well. We're also working with our other coalition partners. So I think Kelly's on this call. We've been working with KSNA. I've been in conversations or communicating with CANA, with a nurse anesthetist program. I spoke to Jamie, actually is the president for the Kansas chapter of the American College of Nurse Midwives. I spoke to her earlier this week. And all these organizations support full practice authority for APRNs. And it's a joy to work with our Kansas coalition partners. We've also found a tremendous amount of support from the broader community of interest. So Americans for Prosperity and the Kansas Chamber in particular provide a tremendous amount of support and resources as they want to get this bill across the finish line. But there are many, many other organizations, including AARP, the March of Dimes, and so many others that support us as well. So we are really excited moving into this next legislative session. We feel like we are positioned well. And I'd like to see if Nicole has anything to add before we just open up for any questions you might have. Nicole?
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Associate Director of State Advocacy and Legislative Affairs at NCSBN, and we've been working in Kansas now for a couple of years, and it's been a true pleasure to work with both KSBN as well as Amy and the CAPEN team. Just to keep everyone updated on NCSBN's work in Kansas, we have two lobbyists on the ground in Kansas that are representing NCSBN. That's Kimberly and Josh Savati. And so we're really thrilled to be able to work with them and continue working with them on their expertise. And our campaign this year, many of you from years past may have seen some of the media and marketing state-specific resources that NCSBN deployed in Kansas. And so just to highlight the resources that we'll have for the 2022 legislative session, in addition, of course, to our support on the ground in the legislative area, is our website, nursingkansas.org. We're going to be partnering with nurse.com again, which is a partnership that they send state-specific emails to their contacts who are located in Kansas, letting them know and educating them about the legislation, the bill, and asking them to send a letter of support to their lawmakers. We also have another grassroots tool out there, which is called CQ Roll Call. That's been really useful for us, again, to educate the public, to educate nurses, those interested in healthcare, and other targeted groups that we have found, really respond well to our issue, are really supportive of our issue, and can be, importantly mobilized during key committee votes or just key times for the legislative process as we move forward into the second year of session. Just like Amy, I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Any questions from the group? I guess just wait to hear more information, correct? Okay, appreciate that update. And if we don't have any questions, I guess we'll move on to the next piece. Thank you.
Thank you.
CNMI regulations.
Madam Chair, I don't have anything to report on this. I've not heard anything. I think they were supposed to meet the last of October, but I'm not sure whether they met. Just as a reminder, this is a committee that actually is coming out of BOHA. We appoint 4 certified nurse midwives on it, but for those nurse midwives that want to practice independently, they have to have that license underneath the Board of Healing Arts. So these regulations actually come out of the Board of Healing Arts Act, not the Board of Nursing. So there is a committee that works on these regulations. Some of the regulations have been approved and are through the process, but there's some yet that are not. How that legislation was put up is that regulations needed to be agreed on by the Board of Healing Arts and the Board of Nursing. And there's some regulations that have not made it through that step yet. And so it's my understanding this committee was going to work on some of those to work out some of the concerns that both agencies had. And so I don't really have anything new.
Carol, there's a chat in the chat, Kathy Gordon.
Oh, okay.
That the CNM committee met, and there seems to be a posting of a public meeting soon regarding the regulations for public opinion.
Oh, okay, because they haven't really sent them to us, sent them to the board to look at. So I'll check on that. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, so I guess that takes care of unfinished business. And we'll move to new business. Report on APRN programs approved for licensure.
Yeah, this is Carol, and you actually have that on page 5 in your packet. And as a reminder, this is kind of a report that I give back every time that you meet. It just looks at applicants that have sought APRN licensure in Kansas from out-of-state schools that we really haven't looked at their curriculum and their accreditation yet. And so when that happens, I look at them to make sure that they meet our requirements. And that's what you see. They do meet our requirements. And so if there's any questions about that or anything?
Does anyone in the group have any questions about the information provided? Then Jill, do we have a motion?
No.
Just providing that for us if they've done the works.
Yeah,
Right, you
yeah, we
guys don't
need
really
them.
have to approve it.
Well, you're making that awful easy. Okay. To the next thing, agenda for March 2022. I think we already said that Shannon would bring back any kind of report that she had from the committee meeting that she would have with the PMP meeting. Maybe an update on more legislation or what's going on with that.
Okay.
Anything else we need to add to that agenda?
This is Carol, and I'll try to find out more about the CNMI regulations and find out what's going on with them if they're having a public hearing, because I'm not sure you guys saw them.
Yeah. So if you do find out a public hearing between now and that March meeting, that information could be sent to this group. So if you want to participate and hear that, you can do that.
Mhm.
Any other questions and anything else that we add to the agenda? But those are the things we know for now. Okay, well, that was a pretty short meeting compared to the education committee this one. So I know how to act, but I appreciate your time. We honor that time and don't want to linger if we don't to. So general consensus, we'll be able to address them. If you have any other questions, Snow.
Okay.
Your time.
Thank you.